Welcome back to the Seen It All podcast, a podcast made by casual movie fans for the casual movie fan. And we are back with the duo today, Yordy and I. Yordy,
Yes,
tell the
sir.
yeah. So we got the duo back again today for episode 3. We've got a pretty cool agenda. We're going to talk about our top 3 Netflix original TV shows, and then we're probably going to have one each of which one we think is overrated.
Getting a
Join us.
little controversial.
All right, Yordy. So, like I said earlier, we're going to do a top 3 Netflix original TV shows that are your favorite. So and they don't have to be in order, or they can be, but I'll let you go first with your first Netflix original show.
Yeah, so once again, I want to preface this is just our personal kind of lists and things. I know it can get really heated. People are so passionate about Netflix shows. I believe they're some of the most coveted shows out there. You talk about Stranger Things, oh my goodness. Talk about a cult
For
following
sure.
that's going on there. And I do love Stranger Things. I wanted to make some different picks. That Stranger Things has a special place in my heart. You asked my wife what her favorite Netflix show is, Stranger Things, but I wanted to go with some hidden gems that I really loved. Maybe not too hidden. They're Netflix originals. People are going to know them. But first on my list is actually an animated series called Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Interesting.
And yeah, a little known fact about me, I love some of the animated shows. I think they have great art and can tell a great story in a way that physical acting can't sometimes. And so this show is based on the Cyberpunk series and those ideas that are set in the future with a lot of human body modifications, becoming more android and these kinds of things. But I think this story, it's a one season show. It didn't need anything more. I think that story that's told here captures a lot of the pain, the sorrow, the love, the joys of life in a really cool artistic way. It's very colorful, it's very poppin', but it also can be very dark, grim. Um, I think for what it is as an animated series, I think it's something that a lot of people could actually enjoy, and it's not really like anime. I
Yeah.
think it's different. It's something that I've made friends watch with me before, and it's
That's cool.
something that I would sit down with Anna. Yeah, I just appreciate it so much for that artistic standpoint and the story that's told. It follows a kid, David, and his push to become somebody. He's experienced loss in his life. He has almost next to nothing, but he's just got this uh, just extreme will and that kind of strength that comes with that to become the most like cybernetically enhanced person. And it comes at a cost eventually. And it's all about that kind of, speed racer balancing act of getting to the finish line, but making sure you don't lose your mind along the way. I definitely would recommend that story to anyone. I think if it was made in a physical acting, a real life standpoint, people would love the story. People would go crazy for it. But I think it's that animation that maybe holds people back from it. But it's a hidden gem. It's awesome.
Yeah, like I don't even know if I've seen that on. I guess it just kind of depends your algorithm of Netflix on like what you watch. So like,
Yes, yeah.
I'll definitely have to look that up and give it a try for sure.
And I will preface though, I did reading on it. It maybe it's not a Netflix original, but it was made and premiered on Netflix, and it was the only place you could watch it.
Interesting.
And as far as I know, it's still the only place you can view this. So
interesting. That's kind of cool. All right, for my number one, I think this had me personally I don't know. I guess it was just like a sign of the times. But I don't think a TV show had. I don't know if it was different at your school, even though we went to high school pretty close together. But mine is 13 Reasons Why.
Whoa, deep pull, deep track.
And like obviously that's a well known, obviously it's based on a book as well. Um like I think so that came out, you know, I think probably our sophomore or junior year of I think it was probably sophomore year of high school. And like obviously the realness of that TV show, especially season 1, I feel like it connected so many different community pockets of my high school. And I felt like I heard people talking, or I could talk to somebody about like, "Hey, have you seen the latest episode?" Or "How far are you into the season?" And like talk to people I probably wouldn't normally talk to, like on a normal class day. And obviously, like the later seasons, they're okay. They were just trying to like build on that story, and it gets just to a point where it's just completely absurd in their storyline. But I think like one of my top Netflix original TV shows is Stranger Things, or not Stranger Things, 13 Reasons Why. Um, just because, like, I think it was just a sign of the times of it had a connectivity to us because it was about kids in high school and obviously the realistic, kind of psychological state some kids may be going through and stuff like that. And it may not like the realness may not have been like as pertinent back then because we are like, oh, that doesn't seem like it could actually happen. But obviously, the older you grow up, you hear those kind of stories, you know, to a certain extent all the time. But I think that show was excellently casted, and also just maybe did the book good justice. So, but yeah, that's my first one. So you can go ahead with your second one.
Yeah, I gotta say, I remember the hype about that in high school, and well, I didn't watch it in high school. I
Mhm.
actually watched it 2 years ago. I watched the first few seasons. The first season's what you need to watch. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, but I thought it was great even then because even then I started thinking about when all my friends were watching it in high school. And yeah, those feelings are definitely valid for it. And it's an
Yeah.
important message. I agree.
Hmm.
Um, but then my next Netflix originals uh, favorite, easy, Black Mirror. I love Black Mirror
Ooh,
so much, so
I've heard so
much.
many good reviews of that.
Yeah, have you watched any episodes at all?
I've seen when I was in college, my friends would have it on, and I'd sit down for like a casual episode here and there. Like I felt
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the description they told me, it was just like a different Twilight Zone almost
Absolutely.
esque
I think that's
show.
the go-to series. It's Twilight Zone, but futuristic is what you'd probably hear.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all about the evils of technology um, in a Twilight Zone manner that can come about as we push in. We got AI coming out, and
Yeah.
it's kind of topical. You get a little scared because you're like, oh, that's not real, but then you see something in the news that's kind of similar already being developed, and you're like, oh,
Hmm.
that's freaky. Um, yeah, the stories. I think Black Mirror. Um, my favorite episode is Metalhead, which I think is a controversial pick. I don't think a lot of people like that episode. It's in black and white. Um, but the my favorite part about Black Mirror is that there will be an episode. I think that you'll like. It's the power of that kind of story anthology kind of setup.
Yeah.
Is you don't have to win on every episode. You know,
Yeah.
you'd like to write a great story every time, but there are some episodes in there I don't care about. I maybe
Hmm.
even couldn't finish them, but it's the chance to write an hour-long story that captures something incredible.
Hmm.
That's where they shine. There are some episodes that are superstars, just unbelievable, almost just capable standing by themselves, but it's just wrapped up in this one series. Amazing. Um, so
Yeah. Hmm.
many stories here and there to talk
Yeah.
about. But Black Mirror, if you're interested in technology at all, if you like a little bit of a horror element, or even some of them aren't even scary, they're just a deep story. Black Mirror's
Hmm.
got some picks for you.
Yeah, like I've heard so much about Black Mirror. Like I said, like my roommates were always watching that, and like I couldn't like get into it because I'm a big fan of the original Twilight Zone, and I guess I thought Black Mirror was not like a copy, but like just a future, like you said, a futuristic spin. I didn't know if I'd like a futuristic spin on a show that's supposed to be kind of that black and white kind of,
Yeah.
kind of feel like an eerie feeling kind of show kind of deal.
Oh yeah, I can get behind you there. I mean, if you like that Twilight Zone, it's not gonna Twilight Zone almost like a comfort show to me, 'cause, like the
Yeah,
stories and
that's true.
everything, uh, and maybe because it's an older uh,
Hmm.
picture, it's just it never related to me. Like if I was watching in the '50s, maybe I'd be like, oh, but
That's
it
fair.
never was scary or never like something I actually was like uh,
Yeah, that's true.
gripped about. But this technology in Black Mirror does that, and so it kind of
Hmm.
feels like it's the new wave of it. Since Twilight Zone is incredible in its own right, I do love Twilight Zone. I own DVDs of it, but
Hmm.
it doesn't have that effect anymore because
Yeah,
of
that's fair.
its age, which is fine. You can't conquer age
It's a
sometimes.
sign of the time kind of show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And maybe that'll be Black Mirror someday too, when there's newer technology and different things. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's true. That's a good one. That's a good one. I
passing it
think.
back.
I think with me, my first two are going to be the obvious ones. I think for me, the next one is Stranger Things. I think with Stranger Things, with me personally, I was late to the game. Actually, I get a lot of heat for. I was always the one when it first came out, like, that show's not going to be. That show's not going to last. What is it? 10 years
Hey,
now since
pause.
the first season. Yeah, like I didn't think at the time because I didn't watch it. I just heard everybody talking about it, and that was what 2016. So that was just like the talk of the school, and
Yeah, yeah.
I just kept putting it off. And my wife finally convinced me right before season 4 came out. She was like, "Let's just watch this together. Let's just sit down and watch it, or you can binge it before season 4 gets started." And after I watched that first season, I was like, obviously, you've got the throwback of the 80s. Everybody who doesn't love kind of 80s themed things, whether
80s
it
is
be music.
perfect.
Um, and I was just like so enamored with obviously you have that child aspect of the show at that time of having going outside with your friends, riding on bikes, playing games with your friends, and then it has kind of that sci-fi turn of when Will gets taken, and obviously there's not going to be any spoiler alerts for that because I feel like everybody on this planet has seen Stranger Things. I do think like season 2 is not my favorite. Season 4 is actually probably my favorite amongst the seasons. And then controversial, maybe not controversial, is season 5 was ended on a garbage note, in my opinion. Um,
Garbage.
like it was just for a show that had a lot riding on the final season because it was just so. After the ending of season 4, everybody was like, "Oh, somebody's cooked in this final season," you know. And I was just like, "That's
And nobody
that's it."
was cooked. They were all
Like,
left raw. Like,
it just didn't make like you spent 4 years with that plot. That's what you came up with, you know. Um, and like overall, I think Stranger Things is a top. It's going to go down. Obviously a top 5 show maybe of all time, in my
yeah,
opinion. Which is that's a stacked list. If you look at uh, like TV shows in a vast majority, just like even outside of Netflix originals. But I do think Stranger Things is one of Netflix's more unique storylines that they could have made up, and it obviously it paid off for them and has a huge fan base. So that's my
yeah,
second choice.
absolutely. Yeah, and Jacob, I want to call to your attention. They it said recording paused. I wonder if it saved the first half of the episode.
Mine says still going.
Oh, what's your time at the top?
15 minutes.
Okay, great. Then we're gonna keep rolling. Hopefully my audio's in there. Because mine says 5. Just a
That's
little
great.
blooper reel for you. Yeah, can't wait, can't wait. Jacob just is schizophrenic talking to himself.
That'll get some views.
That'll get some views for sure. But going on, and then after that technical difficulty that we just had, um, my third choice for Netflix originals. It's a new one, but I love it. I can't get enough of it. To me, it's kind of mindless. It's something I turn on, but it's magical. Nobody wants this. Oh man, have you heard of this one, Jacob?
I have heard of it, but I was not really expecting you to say that actually.
Man, something about it. I mean, there are great production Netflix shows out there,
Yeah,
but you just say like I love Ozark. Um, but something about Nobody Wants This, it's simple magic. That's all. When Anna and I, my wife, first watched it, started an episode, 20-minute episodes, really short, really
wow,
great.
that's really short.
Yeah,
Crazy.
in a world in a world where they're telling stories every hour, 20-minute episodes, and they get everything in, and it's all
That's
lighthearted, it's all sweet, it's tender, it's funny, it's really funny and relatable in a lot of ways. Anna
that's
and I
crazy.
watched the first season. This girl goes to bed at 8:30 p.m. We watched until 3 a.m. that day. We were just
Jeez.
enjoying it, and it wasn't like a gripping story. It was just enjoyment, and I think that sometimes TV shows can stray away from even that what they were meant for.
100%.
Um, yeah, it's just I wasn't thinking about anything. I wasn't trying to predict a story. I just enjoyed my time with that show. Um, and I haven't had a show that does that in a little bit. I'm always trying to figure out. I love being locked in on intense shows, Game of Thrones, those kinds of things.
Yeah,
This one was just different. Out of so many shows that come out, it was different. And that was my
interesting.
third show.
That's like I've seen that on my like Netflix suggested, and I was like, yeah, I'll I'll pass on that. I wonder if I can get my
I think
wife
it's
into it.
perfect for your wife. Yeah.
All
Like
right.
it's so good to watch with your wife, I promise.
And 20-minute episodes, like you, I mean, I feel like I'd blink and it'd be over.
Yeah, it's kind of nice though. You don't have to set a time aside in a day to commit.
That's nice, bro. That's nice. All right. My number three, you mentioned it a second ago, and I
Yep.
gotta go Ozark.
Yep.
I'm a big Jason Bateman fan. Obviously, the more movies or the more podcasts we do, the audience will for sure notice that. But I think obviously this show taught the world how to launder money. Um, but it also, I think it was written or produced, whichever one, by Jason Bateman, and I think he's. It kind of shows like his double hand where he can be such an actor. Obviously, he's known for like Identity Theft, several like Arrested Development, other TV shows, stuff spanning from comedies, thrillers, stuff like that. And I feel like Ozark really dove deep into his like how dark can he get as a character, like from a realistic standpoint, obviously. Um, and you see how the Bird family kind of progresses like throughout these. I think it was 4 seasons or 5. Now, I will say, opposite of your third option, these episodes are like an hour and a half, and like
Yeah.
there's some episodes that just dragged on, and especially I think it was like season 2 or 3, and it was just like, okay, this is a long season. But then like you look down and you've already watched like 4 episodes, so it's just like you kind of get sucked into the storyline, especially with how Wendy, his wife, kind of screws the family and getting into deeper cartel issues.
Screwing other things
And
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Sorry, hey, sorry.
hey,
Hey.
bruh. But yeah, I think that show is really good. I'm also gonna throw an honorable mention out there is The Black Rabbit. It came out, I think last year. It's with Jason Bateman as well. If you have not watched The Black Rabbit, I can't recommend that show enough. It's kind of like Ozark, but nothing with the cartel. Somewhat. You have to watch that on your own, and it's fabulous. I highly recommend you would fully enjoy that one for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. I have not heard of Black Rabbit at all. Um, American crime thriller. I'm looking it up right now. I love Jason Bateman too. I mean, that's what kind of drew me to. I love Arrested Development, goated.
Yeah,
Um,
very true.
but Ozark, I remember watching it when it came out.
Yeah.
Season one, and I was dying for more. So I
Oh yeah.
totally get you there. It was so good. Um,
Mm.
Ready to crack into our least popular.
Yeah, I've got two. I haven't watched like their whole seasons,
Jeez,
but the
big
the few
hater.
the few episodes I've seen are they're horrendous to me.
Yeah. Well, I've got one that I absolutely just hate. I'm not even going to comment about it. I hate Record of Ragnarok. Never finished it. Terrible, super
Interesting.
long, drawn out episodes. Bad. Bad, 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 bad. My second that I do not like, and I feel like this is controversial. I know a lot of people like this show.
Oh no.
I just I can't get in to the Night Agent. I
Mm,
I
that's fair. I get that.
Yeah, something about it. I've watched some of the episodes. There's something about the tone of the actors and how they work together. It's just like every time it drives me wild. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you. Like the story, like it's fine. It's full of it's action. It's great. It just feels so. It's it's not even PC, but it feels like PC acting. It's
That's
so
fair. Yeah.
bizarre,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's a phenomenon that's come on a little bit,
That's
um,
yeah.
and it just it's the opposite of scratching an itch. It makes me itchy. It unsteams my clams, kind of. What?
What did he
But
say? What does that mean?
but I can't do that show, and that's all I got to say. I think the plot is actually fine. It's something about the tone and delivery of lines that makes it. I can't get into it.
It's fair. I've got one of them may not be controversial. One of them it may be. First one, this is mainly because my wife watched it and I happened to watch a couple episodes. Emily in Paris is the most overrated show.
Mm.
It had there was I don't know what season it was where she's like contemplating either like going back or like staying in Paris. I'm like, they, they're not going to change the name of the show, and they already announced they're coming out with a fourth season of Emily in Paris. So like, there's
What
she's
all
gonna
is there
stay.
left to do?
It's you're not she's not leaving Paris. So um,
Yeah, yeah.
but
No, I'm behind you. I'm behind you.
this next one I may catch some heat from some of my friends if they end up tuning in, but I after season 1, I didn't like You. I I like,
Ooh.
it was a good, like, I guess, just kind of like a weird murder mystery. Not mystery because he's just slaughtering these people, but, like, it was just like, how people get caught for crimes of lesser, and this guy's murdering, 5 or 6 women, and he's just on the streets right now. Um, and, like, it was just, like I get like some shows like try to get you like out of reality, but like in a show that's based in reality, you'd think like he'd be like running from the law or like something something would track him down to where like, oh, maybe it's the guy with the glass box in his basement. Um, and that's just one of the ones I'm just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you can
Who
only do
has
so
that?
much.
Yeah. I agree with you with that, and I enjoyed season 1 too. But I
Yeah.
think there is like a Netflix effect once they hook people.
Yes.
Yeah, it becomes a sell show. It's just pumping it out and making it for as many seasons as they can for the people that did enjoy the first season.
Very true. Very true. I agree with that 100%. 100%. All right. Well, that will be it for today, guys. I thank y'all for listening to this episode. We've really enjoyed this podcast. We kind of made it kind of a little casual today. So, if you
Casual,
have
you can
any,
hear me getting out of my truck.
especially that, but leave a comment for future things you'd like to hear, future TV shows, maybe you'd like for us to review. Until then, or until the next episode, you've seen it all.